Hey, how you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. So today I really didn't want to hear this news regarding of Grand Theft Auto 4. This is also, by the way, including Red Dead Redemption 1. So basically, there most likely will not be any sorts of a remaster for these two games. This is coming from a quite reliable leaker by the name of Tez2. I will read out in a few seconds exactly what he mentions, but I just wanted to say that I really don't want to hear, I really did not want to hear about this on my birthday, 4th of July. It is my birthday today, guys, if you guys did not know already, because I've been mentioning it in the community tab page and on Twitter as well. And as such, just you want a little bit more of a positivity instead. And like Grand Theft Auto 4 being my favorite game of all time, and yet it's just not getting a remaster, it's just quite disappointing indeed. So let's get into the tweet, what he mentions exactly, and summarize our thoughts. As per a reliable source with clear accuracy on Rockstar's plans, remasters of Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption 1 were on the table a few years ago, but Rockstar chose not to proceed with the projects in mind. The poor reception of the trilogy, the definitive edition, might be the reason behind that decision. So, because of the very poor work that's been done for the Grand Theft Auto the trilogy, the definitive editions, and because of this, we are the ones that basically not going to be receiving these remasters. All because Rockstar themselves have not been making the definitive edition of these trilogy. I believe it was Grove Street Media or whatever the names are. I just get somebody else to hire, perhaps get them working on these remasters. I understand because Rockstar already confirmed that they're making Grand Theft Auto 6 or the next Grand Theft Auto anyway, and of course in this case they'll need all hands on deck to make that game, right? And as such, because of this, yeah, I don't think they may have even enough time to remaster both of the Grand Theft Auto 4 and also Red Dead Redemption. By the way, Grand Theft Auto 4, if that's the case, they wouldn't also include the DLC, the expansions, right? The Battle of Gay Tony and also The Lost and the Damned. And the Red Dead Redemption, that presumably will be coming with the Undead Nightmare. And of course, this means far more work. And, it's absolutely sucks. Now, there's been a little bit extra regarding, what could be happening with other games, such as Red Dead Redemption 2. Will it get updated for the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5? And he mentions that Red Dead Redemption 2 update for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S is planned at some point down the road. No idea when though. And the other thing is regarding the trilogy of the Grand Theft Auto games, the definitive edition. There's a question basically asked, will there be any future plans of an updates? Continue making the games are as best as possible, because obviously the way the state that they came out, it was very appalling, with full of bugs and issues. Now at least it's in a far better state, but yes, there are unfortunately, there are still quite a few issues remaining. And as such, basically he replies and says they're still doing bug fixes for the trilogy definitive edition, but it's slowing down as the focus increases and Rockstar starts fully working on Grand Theft Auto 6. There's been also confirmations regarding of the Grand Theft Auto 6, again not coming from Rockstar but from him, that back in 2020 Grand Theft Auto 6 was actually about 50 to 60% already completed. And we're already in 2022, and there's also been an extra mention that there will be a first trailer coming out sometime this year, at least at the end of this year, for the next Grand Theft Auto game. And of course, that perhaps will be Grand Theft Auto 6, unless if they decide to name it something else. And as such, this actually is not good news, of course. Man, I was really looking forward to it, because there still is a possibility, maybe he could be wrong about this information, maybe they did this on purpose, and so actually to leave it as a surprise, and maybe the sources that he's getting and the leaks that he's receiving are not correct. I am hoping for that. And also it's because there's been other rumors and sources, quite reliable sources too, mentions that in 2023 that's when we should perhaps expect Grand Theft Auto 4 the remastered, and because Grand Theft Auto 4 came out at the end of April, and presumably that's when perhaps there will be a remaster for Grand Theft Auto 4, and as such that would actually be a 15th anniversary since the release of Grand Theft Auto 4 back in 2008. So, coming out in 2023 and at the end of April, I think that would be an amazing time for us to get our, grooves on and basically continue enjoying Grand Theft Auto games. And of course, you know, appalling job with the remasters we definitely do not want. And as such as that Grove Street, you know, the studio, I think they just need to fuck off. Like, I think they need to merge with Rockstar, always be, I don't know, like monitored constantly, and you know, so they don't make dumbass mistakes. They're not worthy studios of actually making remasters, because they have proven constantly that they cannot handle this, because they did a very poor job of remastering Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I believe it was, for the mobile. And also now they did an appalling job of these definitive editions of the trilogy Grand Theft Auto games. I'm just still curious, like, why GTA trilogy, why those games? There was already all these games available on all the platforms, and yet Grand Theft Auto 4 and also Red Dead Redemption are not available for the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5. Wouldn't that make more sense for, you know, to get, you know, to do? Right? Because if that's the case, then obviously a lot more people would have actually end up purchasing it. But again, with the polling job that Grove Street has done, because of this, it really tainted the reputation for Rockstar. And as such, with also constant updates to Grand Theft Auto Online, and it's just been no mentions and barely any conversations regarding of single player games, and no support on those as well. It's like they're losing a lot of reputation, and it sucks, absolutely sucks. Of course, none of this will matter, because as soon as Grand Theft Auto 6, everyone's gonna lose their minds. Everyone's gonna be very much looking forward to it. And to be honest with you, I will be looking forward to it as well. But again, I'm gonna be kind of scared now, because, you know, we don't know if Rockstar, with recent changes, recent development that's been going around, you know, behind background in the studio, and so many changes in its developers, will it be enough to actually make a fantastic game like they have done with Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, you know, and so many more games, of course. But because there has been so many changes, so many changing developers, still kind of raises the question, can we truly trust Rockstar now? Because like, they may be similar boat as Bethesda, they may be similar boat as the CD Projekt Red. Man, you know, it's so concerning. There's becoming less and less and fewer games that you can truly trust that they actually will deliver quality for you. Nowadays, the only games that you can truly trust is PlayStation exclusive games. Bethesda has fallen, Activision has mega fallen, and like BioWare has fallen, EA has fallen with their Battlefield games, because like, it just sucks. Rockstar has fallen, Ubisoft has fallen, and it just continues and continues, and you just don't really trust anybody anymore. And it's very sad. Anyway, guys, do let me know what you think about this news. Obviously, it is very disappointing, and I hope it's kind of not true with this leaks that's coming in. Hopefully they'll change their mind, or something could happen. Maybe hopefully there's a surprise for us all, that perhaps indeed Red Dead Redemption remaster and also Grand Theft Auto 4 remaster will indeed be coming, perhaps on their anniversary, like they've done with the GTA, the trilogy, the definitive editions. But again, hopefully it's not by Grove Street Media Studio, whatever they're called. Anyway, alright guys, like and subscribe. See you guys all. Have a wonderful day.